So they need your body. The tawaf, sa'i, then going to between Safa and Marwa and all that. So it's called wajibul mali wal badani. Number 3, it's called wajibul badani. Just the body. Which one is that? Like khamsa salawat, like 5 daily prayers. If I owe any daily prayers that I missed in my life, 10 years ago I wasn't praying. I was praying but I wasn't practicing properly. So I missed 1 prayer, 2 prayers. I have to write it in my will before I go to Hajj, I have to write it. Then I remember last 10 years I missed 2 months of prayer I didn't do. I have to put it in writing. It's called wajibul badani. Number 4, it's called al-hiba al-amma. Anything one wants to happen after his death, I want to give my car to my brother. I want to give my house to my sister. I want to donate this to the masjid. Anything that you want to happen, you want to do after your death, you write it there. It's called hiba al-amma. You have to put all these details in writing before you go to Hajj. That is the first step that one has to put in consideration. Which is writing a will. That's one. Number 2, one thing one has to put in their mind as well is that one has to make sure that before he or she lives in this country or any part of the world that he lives in, he has to treat this Hajj that he is going as the last Hajj. Why? Because when you go into that traveling, that journey, always treat it like that is my last Hajj. The reason why I'm saying this, because when you go there, unfortunately, some of us when we go to Hajj, it's like we're going to vacation. So what happens? Every single day you see them in the market. You come back with the bags. MashaAllah, right hand is full. Zuhr prayer, people Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, he's going to the store. The hands are full, he's coming back. Every time Zuhr prayer, he's in the market. Asr prayer, he's in the market. He is 24th. It's like it's a completely vacation. He has nothing to worry about. All he has to worry about is those toys for his children, the cousins, and all that. Dear brothers and sisters, it's not worth it to go to that holy land for this purpose. If you want toys or gifts, you can buy them here in the United States. Better ones. You go there to visit Allah, the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make sure that every single minute of your existence in that world is utilized to benefit, to become closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because remember, Hajj is invitation of Allah. Out of these millions of people in the world, Allah selected you and said, I want you to come. And it's not random selection, It's like when you travel, you and I, when we travel at the immigration, at the airport, they say random selection. Your name just comes in, they say we want to check you. Why? Random selection. We just come, your name just came in. Wisdom behind it? No. You think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selects like that too? He just closes his eyes and then randomly pick anyone he wants? No. In the night of Qadr, during the month of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala picks your name in those who He wants them to visit His house. And Imam Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman has to also sign on it that yes, I want him to come and visit your house, Ya Allah. So it's not just that randomly pick, Allah just pick you just like that. So you just go there, if you want to shop, that's up to you. No, it's selected by Allah and based on the wisdom, hikmah. So do I go there and just play with my time and just go there and come back just like that? So it's important while we are in that holy land, we have to make sure that every single time of our life is utilized to become closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is number 2, while we're preparing to go to that holy land. Number 3, as we're preparing to go to that holy land, one has to make sure that he or she chooses his marja. He has a scholar he follows. Unfortunately, some of us, we take this lightly. So what should I even now, unfortunately, there are some kind of rumors going around. Some of it, we don't need marja. What do you need marriage? Somebody sitting in Iraq or in Iran or in Lebanon, he doesn't know what's going on in the United States, so why should I ask him? I live in the United States, I know better than him, he doesn't know anything. Allahu Akbar. A'udhu billah from these type of words. But my example is this. You and I, if we want to buy a car that want to drive to work, to house, to anywhere, and we don't know much about the car, what do? We consult an expert in cars. We go to the person who is expecting car, a dealer, or person who sells car, and he knows any car. We tell him, brother, I want a car, but I don't know which one is good for me. Then he tells you, this car is good, this car is not good, this lasts longer, this doesn't last longer. So we base on their idea to buy a car. I want a house. I'm not sure about which area is good area. I'm not sure about how mortgage works. How do? I ask one of the people who are realtors, who are involved in these things, to get their opinion. Islam says if you are not also qualified in the Islamic issues, what should you do? Here Islam says you have to ask marja. That is the concept of what? Of asking marja. You and I, it's okay to ask someone if I don't know in the car. It's okay to ask a realtor because I'm not qualified in houses. But it's okay not to ask marja, even though I'm not qualified. Is that the logic that we have today? So is it important in our aqidah as the followers of Ahlul Bayt, if one does not ask an alim or marja, everything that he does or she does, if it doesn't match a marja's opinion, then that action is void and not accepted. Whether it be a prayer or fasting or hajj, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't match the word of any marja, then it's not accepted. So that's important. So before we go to hajj, if I have a marja, alhamdulillah. If I don't, I have to choose one, so that when I go to that holy land, every single movement that I take, it has to be what? It has to match according to the idea or the opinion of one scholar. That is one also important one have to put in consideration. Number 4, before we go, it is important also before we leave this place, one should ask anybody he knows to forgive him. Anybody you know? Your workplace, your neighbors, family members, ask them. Why? Because remember, when you go to Hajj,